Okay guys, welcome back to the workshop. A few little projects have been completed recently. I've got a model over here. I haven't done a video on it yet because it's not something I want to put out there too much. It's just been a pet project for myself. It's a project that I started, I think, probably 2 years ago. It was a project where I set myself a task of learning CAD, designing stroke drawing an aeroplane, getting it built, getting it cut, should I say laser cut, built, assembled and flown. So from nothing to an aeroplane, I've done it myself, bar the laser cutting. That's somebody else who's got a laser cutter that can do it for me. It's just coming to fruition. You might be able to see purple and green bits over here. It's that aeroplane. If you saw it, you'd all recognise it, where it's got its inspiration from. It's very different to the aeroplane that you think it is. I might get some video of that once it's being up the field and test flown and whatnot, but it's not something I want to push just now. It's just a personal achievement for me. It means now I can move forwards, I can take the skills that I've learnt with CAD and I can make the aeroplanes that I want to make. I've got a couple of aeroplanes already started drawing up, one of which is very close. I need to revisit it again, but very close to saying, right, let's start cutting some parts, let's start gluing it together, see how it all fits. It's going to be a big aeroplane. It's half scale, 50%, so it's going to take up a lot of space in here, but it's something that I want to do. It's something that I don't think anybody else recently in the UK has modelled, certainly at this size. So yeah, there's a lot of drawings done. There's a lot of head thinking to try and visualise. I don't do 3D modelling yet. I want to, but I don't do 3D models. So I've got lots of two-dimensional parts that I've been sort of visually in my head trying to go, yeah, that'll fit there, that bit will fit there, so on and so forth, to make it all come together. I won't know if it works until I get all the parts, all the 2D parts, laser cut, and start putting the jigsaw together. I think it should work, but the proof will be in the pudding. But that's a little bit way off yet. I've got a few other things to do before I start doing that. I want to get into stabilisation. I want to try out the AS3X receivers because I think this model might need it. So I've got another aeroplane that I want to build before that, purely to try out the receivers. I've got a kit in the loft for a limbo dancer, designed by Paul Skinner back in the early 90s. Still produced by Sleck today. I don't know where to go electric or IC with it. Electric seems to be the way forwards for competition flying, but that's not what I'm after, so I might go glow with it. But we'll see. That's by the by. One project that is here, now that I've finished that pet project over there, I've sort of cleared the decks a little bit and pulled out this other project that I've been working on for a little while. This kit came to me as a job lot kit. I bought something like 10 or 12 kits out of a guy's loft, sold a few on to pay for it, and I've kept a few. This was one of the ones that I saw straight away and thought, yeah, I want that, but I'm not going to do the run-of-the-mill thing with it. This one is a Cambrian, an original Cambrian Spitfire. Now you might think straight away Fun Fighters. No, this is the bigger one. Fun Fighters are 42-inch wingspan. This is 55. They did the Spitfire at this size and the Mustang. I think this is like a 46 two-stroke, maybe a 64 stroke sort of size. Relatively easy to build, but what I'll come back to in a moment, there's a few little things with it. I'm not going to go down the normal route. I saw this and thought that would make a great PSS model. PSS, if you don't know, is powered scale soaring, i.e. taking what would normally be an engine-powered aircraft and throwing it off a hill as a slope soarer. So this has been the build of this has been changed slightly to accommodate that. I started it a long time ago. Various other things got in the way, projects got in the way, work, life, etc. got in the way. But as I had a board clear, I thought, right, I'll get it out, try and get it finished for this season, so I can fly it on the slope, and have a PSS model that if I go to an event, I don't know, down in Wales or something like that, I've got a model I can go and fly. So where are we with it just now? Well, this is the fuselage as it stands just now. It's basically framed up. There isn't much deviation at all from the plan of build, apart from the front end. So this is where you'd normally have your engine mount. This is the bog standard F1, I think it is. Yeah, that's quarter ply. Left that as it is. All I've done is I've moved the servo mount to in front of that. I want to get as much weight forwards as possible to help with the CG. So the servo is going to be mounted in here. I've got space underneath the servos here, which would be like under the engine normally, or depending on if we had the engine cylinder, etc. I've got enough space in there for a subsea pack. Now, a subsea pack is a big battery. This is a 5-cell subsea, so it's a good size receiver pack, and that will fit in there. I've already accounted for the size of that, so it will go in there if need be, if I need to get the weight up the front. Probably fly for a week or more on that one pack. So at the moment that's the only change to the plan. I've run the snakes in where they should be, but I've run them further forwards. I think the servo should be here somewhere normally. Just looking on the plans that are in front of me, they're just behind F2. Yeah, they sit in there normally. So I've brought them probably 8-10 inches further forwards to counteract the fact we're not going to have an engine in the front. There's going to be a spin on the front, which I could make out of hardwood if need be, to give us more weight at the front, or line it with lead or something just to give us the weight where we need it. So that's the fuselage. The other day I started looking at this and I thought, right, what's the next step? And it's these bits here. These, I don't know whether you can see them. These areas here, these fairings. Classic feature of the Spitfire, the wing fairings, the fillets. But they are blooming nightmare on this. This particular kit, I don't know if it's, I'm not going to slate Cambrian. This is an old kit. I reckon this must be probably 15-20 years old, maybe, this kit. But the wood that was in here, nothing's the same size as this side piece, isn't the same size as that piece. Nothing fits perfectly. Even when I put the fuselage together, the fuselage sides are different lengths. So I'm guessing back then it was all hand cut, and maybe this was a Friday afternoon kit or an apprentice kit. So it wasn't necessarily the best. One thing I have just seen, again, I don't know if you'll be able to see here, this former wasn't the right size, so I had to actually extend the former with a doubler piece to make it fit along its line. And it's still not great, but it'll be good enough for what I want it for. So the next stage is on the fuselage. I want to get the rear fillets done, so that'll be trying to get this area in here coming up. But to do that, I've got to sheet the underside here. So with that in mind, that's quite a tight curve. I took the pieces, the sheets, soaked them in a hot bath of water, and I've wrapped them around suitably radiused paint cans when they're soaking wet, and let them dry out. I haven't pulled them off yet. This is just this morning I've come down with these. So that'll be the next stage, pulling them off and getting them on, or get them trial fitted to see how they look. They might well need trimming, fettling to get them in, which is fine, we can live with that. And once I've got that sheeting on, I can get the fillets on, and the reason we get the fillets is I want to get the wing finished. The wing is pretty well on actually. It's a good size wing, 55 inch. This has already been joined, fiberglass around the middle, and I've also fiberglassed the skins. You can I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up in this light, all the marks and everything in there. It is so uneven, the wing, just the veneering. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that well, but it's pretty well smooth now. I'm not looking for a perfect finish. This is going to be bounced off hills and cliffs and rocks and all sorts, so it's more for a flying scale model than a pristine hangar queen. But again, for me, it's more proof of concept. No, I can take a kit, I can turn it into a PSS model. there's probably better PSS models out there, purpose designed as gliders, where they've got everything at the front. They've got a light tail end, all the sides have been lightened and things like that. But I'm just literally taking this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, I haven't lost anything out of it. It was effectively a free kit to me. So that's where I'm just now with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next little while trying to fettle all this light in here. And hopefully in the next video, the next Spitfire video, we'll see a bit more progress, and it might look a bit more like a Spitfire. But yeah, that's where we are just now. I'm going to say goodbye to you lot and get on and do some gluing, fitting, fiddling about, scratching my head, trying to figure out how to do this. So I'll catch you again soon. Hey guys, just thought I'd share this with you. I know I said I'd come back with done a bit more. I've literally spent 10 minutes playing with this. I mentioned just a minute ago that I'd soaked some wood in the water, put it around these cans of paint. Well, pretty damn impressed with the results. These were perfectly flat sheets when I soaked them. They've now come out curved, pre-curved. They're not going to be a perfect fit, but it's going to allow me to bend them and keep their shape where I want them a lot easier than they would do if they're just flat sheets. So I've got two of these handed. These are going to be the rear fuselage section at the bottom. I'm not quite sure how they're going to fit. I've got to fettle them and whatnot, but yeah, quite impressed with how they've come out. So see how they give them a dry fit, see if they need shade, blah blah blah, and I'll then come back to you. So if you're liking this sort of thing, subscribe at the bottom corner down there. My face should pop up, I think. Click on that, subscribe. You'll get notification if you tick the bell bit as well. There's a bell notification down there. Tick that. You'll get told, emailed or whatever when I put another video up, so you can follow the progress of this and other projects and escapades that we get to with our flying. Okay, catch you again soon.